Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to break down how to properly use common mobility aids, things like canes and crutches, to make sure you're moving safely and staying independent.
Think about it. They both might be relying on a tool to help them get around. But here's the real question. Are they using it correctly? The answer is way more important than you might think. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the mobility challenge itself, then get into a little bit of the science behind movement. After that, we'll cover the big mistakes people make, learn how to do it right, and then see how it all comes together on the path to recovery.
So let's start with the core problem. Facing a mobility challenge can feel really daunting, right? Some people even resist using an aid because they're afraid it's a sign of weakness or dependency.
But here's the thing. We've got to flip that script. These devices are actually tools for empowerment. Their entire purpose is to help people live the best life they can by boosting stability and confidence. There's absolutely no shame in using a tool that keeps you safe and active.
Now, to really understand how these aids support your body, we need to geek out just a little bit on two key concepts: active and passive movement. Each one plays a huge role, but at totally different stages of getting better.
And check this out. The core difference is actually pretty simple. Active movement, that's all you. Your muscles are firing and doing the work. Passive movement, on the other hand, is when an outside force, like a physical therapist or a special machine, moves a joint for you. And trust me, both are absolutely crucial at different times.
In those early stages of recovery, like right after surgery, your body needs to heal, and that's where passive movement is the hero. It's vital for keeping your joints from getting stiff, for helping with blood flow to bring in nutrients, and it can even help manage pain and keep your brain aware of that part of your body.
So you've got the aid, but using it the wrong way can be seriously dangerous. We're talking instability or even causing new injuries. So let's look at the most common pitfalls, and we're going to start with a number that might just shock you.
That's right, 50%. One guide estimates that about half of the people out there using a cane are making mistakes that could lead to instability or pain. That's a huge number, and it just shows how important proper technique really is. Okay, the first major mistake, and you see this one all the time on TV, is holding the cane on the same side as the injury. That's wrong. It should always be on the opposite side. This helps spread your weight out and promotes a much more natural way of walking.
Another massive issue is the height. If the cane is too high, you end up shrugging your shoulder. If it's too low, you have to stoop over. Either way, you're throwing your posture and your balance completely off, which defeats the whole purpose of using the thing in the first place.
And finally, please never overlook the tip of your cane. It's your only point of contact with the ground. A worn-down, smooth tip has no grip and turns into a serious safety hazard, especially on wet surfaces. The good news is, new tips are cheap and super easy to replace. Okay, now that we know what not to do, let's lock in the correct techniques for both canes and crutches so you do it right.
Getting the fit right is so important, and it's really easy. Just follow these 3 steps. Stand up tall and let your arm hang relaxed by your side. The very top of the cane handle should line up perfectly with the crease of your wrist. That's what gives you that ideal slight bend in your elbow, about 15 degrees.
And for stairs, just remember this simple phrase. When you're going up, your good or strong leg steps up first, but when you're going down, you lead with the bad. That means the cane and your affected leg go down onto the step first, then you bring your good leg down.
This table is a great illustration of how different crutch gaits or walking patterns work for different situations. For example, a 3-point gait is really common when you can't put any weight on one leg. You move both crutches and that injured leg together. A 4-point gait is slower, but it's super stable. The right one for you all depends on what your doctor says about your weight-bearing status.
So how does this all come together? Well, the path to a full recovery isn't just about using an aid. It's about having a smart strategy that adapts as you heal and get stronger. A really great rehab plan uses that passive movement early on to protect the healing tissue. Then, as you get stronger, it brings in more active movement to rebuild that strength and function. It's the perfect way to bridge the gap between protecting an injury and getting back to performing your everyday activities.
Ultimately, the goal is to see these devices not as a sign of weakness, but as a powerful tool that gives you freedom. Using it the right way lets you stay mobile, safe, and independent while you recover, and even beyond. So what's one adjustment you can make today? Whether it's for you or someone you know, correcting just one small mistake, like which hand holds the cane or checking the rubber tip, can lead to a huge improvement in safety, confidence, and quality of life. Thanks for watching.